Hello and welcome back to Subnautica. As you see, this is where we last left off, and yeah, let's get on doing things. All right, this was a fabricator. We just drill it. But all right, so I recently watched an old episode, and down near the Ghost Leviathan is oh, that's amazing. Down near the Ghost Leviathan, there's a base. I think it was a research facility base, and there's a place I need to go there. But let's look at this alien object. Alien building block. This rock-like object features organic as well as mechanical parts, and there is some genetic and technological crossover with the design of its self-warping constructs encountered elsewhere. It appears to serve no purpose in its current state, and it's awaiting some kind of activation sequence. Materials such as this may be a fundamental building block of the aliens' technology or even the aliens themselves. Translation device. That scared me. Hold up. This device stores linguistic data from over 1,000 different languages. The core of the device may allow alien text to be read and translated. Analysis of the onboard data reveals a number of ancient Earth languages, and the term CHBC Live appears many times in the device's data. Its import is unclear. The device seems to be configured to translate into the designer's language. It will not work the other way around. I'm pressing that button. It's after my blood. Empty case. Should have known. Nanobots. Oh. Scan shows some form of advanced nanobot inside this seemingly empty case. These bots are substantially smaller than any developed within the Federation. It's not possible to ascertain the exact function. It would, however, be unwise to release them. Can I see them? Oh, that looks like a bow or a boomerang. Unusual box. Organic matter particulator. This device contains a highly unstable radioactive isotope likely to destroy all organisms exposed to it, while leaving physical structures intact. Although it would function perfectly well as a weapon, it was more likely used to sterilize spaces for later habitation. Without instructions, it would be unwise to interact with it. Crescent artifact. Tracking implant. This construct is emitting high power bandwidth with signal consistent with alien transmissions intercepted elsewhere. DNA on the exterior indicates it was once implanted inside one of the life forms indigenous to 4546b. Its size suggests the subject was a Leviathan-class organism. Beyond tracking and broadcasting this location, with the implant may have been recorded biological data on this object. However, this data cannot be retrieved. Well, then it's useless. I already did. You're the building block. I feel like more ion cubes. Ooh. Ooh. Rudimentary tablet. This device shares many similarities to the tablets used to access the alien facilities, although its structure is rather less complex. It may have served a similar purpose, granted security access and storing relevant data, and was thus kept here as form of legacy support. What are you? Oh, you're a blade. Oh, ancient blade. Earth blade. An ancient earth blade dating back to the 13th century. Blood samples on the blade match the DNA of 7 separate heads of state from the period. This evidence supports the theory that the aliens are an ancient space-borne civilization engaged in the surreptitious study of less developed species. Well, you come to the right place. Strange carving. Koi fish. This carving is hundreds of thousands of years old and made from an unrecognized natural fiber grown on an unknown planet. It bears striking resemblance to the old Earth yin and yang. I could see that. Symbol. Two completing theories may explain the similarity. One, aliens visited Earth prior to the 4th century BC and influenced the development of ancient Chinese philosophy. Two, the concept of yin and yang is universal, since yin and yang describes the fundamental interdependency of seemingly opposite forces. It may be necessary existential understanding in some form. In all sufficiency developed civilizations, the tapering of two circles union into opposed and infinite similarly small points that finite is one logical way to represent this understanding. It may have been developed independently by species other than humans. Alien stature. Ooh. This artifact is unpowered, suggesting it served as a ceremonial rather than practical purpose. The pyramid resembles vines spiraling upward towards the warm blue stone mounted above. It may represent a plant found on the aliens' home world, a building of religious import, or even the gravitational pull of their home solar system. Ah. Now, what are you? Yes, it is a circular object. Holographic projector. This device contains a network apparatus and a holographic projection unit. It was likely used as a communications relay, projecting the image of the user to a remote location. They do not appear to be any other devices in its range. Where do we need to enter? A blue tablet. Do I have any? No, but I do have orange. Alright, let's look into these rooms. Excuse me. That's a lot of eggs.
This room appears to be a biological archive storing more than 40 indigenous egg specimens in different states of development.
Okay, that egg over there looks like that one. Ooh. Data. Sea Emperor Leviathan research data. Specimen size categorizes have been adjusted upward to accommodate this species. Accommodate this species. There we go. Feeding and digestion. Alien research data indicates that despite its size, the species feeds entirely on microorganisms it filters from the water, which themselves depend on a complicated ecosystem of the of plant and animal life reproduction. Large ovary-like organisms are carried in the creature's middle section, suggesting that like other species on this planet, it produces eggs. However, internal scar tissue indicates probable infertility. Oh, enzyme 42. The emperor manufactures enzyme 42 within its stomach cavity to break down its food and will occasionally expel it into the surrounding waters. This substance was found to neutralize the effects of the bacterium and its presence. The ecosystem today would explain how life on the planet survived the outbreak. It would remain to be explained by what mechanism the enzyme is being delivered. Health. A comparative analysis of the size and metabolic rates indicate the specimen captured by the researchers was approximately 1,600 years old. Extensive internal and external scar tissue suggested it had lived well in excess of the peak lifespan for its species. Assessment. While a healthy emperor specimen may have held some potential as a cure, it is unlikely any research suggests survived quarantine procedures. That's a warp gate. Alright. I think this is another warp gate.
Unusually passive behavioral patterns in nearby predators. Reason unknown.
That's weird. But that's another warp gate. I'm suggesting the other ones are warp gates as well. It is tradition to go to the middle. Ah. Yes. Yes.
Integrating new PDA data.
Ventilation control. Water flowing to and from the primary containment facility is being automatically controlled independently of other safeguards. Data on the water composition has been recorded. Inflow. Water is being drawn from different biomes around the surface of the planet. The water temperature is considerably lower than the volcanic environment outside the facility, while microorganisms and nutrient counts are substantially higher. Outflow. Oxygen-deprived water is being flooded from the system and recycled back into the surface. Inflow pipe. Peepers entering the containment facility. The pipes drawing water to the containment facility are filled with peepers arriving from the surface. Fish show no signs of distress. The specimens scanned have all conceived high quantities of seeds and organic matter from the surface. Some specimens are beginning to show signs of infection. That's not good. Right. Warp gates. Let's go through one. Alright. Last warp gate. Let's go through this one and see where we end up. Dang it. Alright. Alright. Do I have any? Oh. And I'm gonna, save. Just in case. Alright, you're coming with me, Richard. $239, that's close to the surface. Ah, yes. Is this... That's pretty close. Are we? Is this the mushroom place? It is the mushroom place. Do I have a beacon? I have a beacon. We shall call you Mushroom Warp to Sea Emperor. Alright. We need a blue tablet. So that requires a lot of materials. And you know, make more beacons for the other warp dudes. Because, you know, that would make sense. And we're back. Yes. We'll say hi to the cuttlefish.
Welcome aboard,
And the bone
Captain.
shark. You're bone shark, right? Yeah, bone shark. That's a nice threat level. Oh. A large and powerful predator that lives in small groups and fiercely defends its hunting grounds. Thickly armored exoskeleton suggests defensive adaptation either to large predators or species aggression. Marked similarly to the segment exoskeleton of the sand shark, it suggests a relatively recent common ancestor. Large eyeballs, consistent with high light sensitivity, likely for hunting luminescent prey in low light environments. Generally slow and unresponsive as a means of energy conservation.
Calorie intake recommended.
Thank you. They will act with uncompromising speed and aggression against any threat to the surface. Avoid may be distracted by light sources. Bob. Alright, so back near the surface. No, get back over there. Ah, yes.
Welcome aboard, Captain.
Glad to be back. Hello, Bob. Man, it's glad to be back.
Vital signs
Sure, why not?
stabilizing.
No, thank you for the water. Okay, so we need a blue tablet. How to make one of those? Well then, glad I have that kind of trucks. Oh, we can make ion batteries. Did you use an ion cube? You used an ion cube, didn't you? We have more, right? We have a ton more. What else do I need? Beacons, so that means I need lots of titanium and copper. Which, of course, I don't have, so I'll be back with the materials. Alright, so I come up with all the materials needed for some beacons. Alright, we got all 7 right here. Now we can head back to... We can head back over there to the Emperor. Wait, let's actually exchange some batteries. You need batteries. 4, let's give you 68. 38, let's give you 100. Alright. Let's just get some food. Alright, so let's just... Alright, we're all set. Let's go back. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. Alright, the moment. God dang it. The moment we've all been waiting for. Time to meet the Emperor. Is that a warp gate? Oh.
Are you here to play?
Yes.
Others came here once. They built these walls. They played alone. They bored me. Now they're gone. And instead, we have you.
That is creepy.
We are
I am scared.
curious whether you swim with the current or fight against it as they did.
Don't leave me all alone. And you left me all alone. Right. Ah. Where are you? Oh, that's amazing. Oh, eggs. Huh. These are your eggs. Why are you down here? Oh, look, a stalker. That is so cool. 14,000 leagues under the sea.
My young need to hatch, to play outside this place. We have been here so long. The others built a passage to reach the world outside. I asked them for this freedom, but they could not hear me. If you help us, I will give you freely what the others tried in vain to take.
Oh, that tone shift. Is that, oh, aquarium arc. Scans indicate this arc was left
Environment
inactive.
scans indicate the water here is rich with a rare, plankton-like life form which depends on the organic detritus produced by the ecosystem around it.
Thank you. Scans indicate this arc was left inactive when the facility was abandoned. This likely served as an access point to the surface of the planet. It is much too small for the Emperor to pass through, but it would be accommodate for smaller forms. See Emperor eggs. That's a long one, right? Shell, uncommonly strong shell, thinning, organic growth. The outside exterior suggests these may be hundreds of thousands of years old. Alien tubes. The alien devices penetrate the outer shell layer, likely designed to supply them with nutrients and to isolate them from the surrounding environment. Anatomic say. Like many eggs on 45-46b, these do not contain a nutrient supply, which is... and there's a the video, so, which is slowly exhausted by the embryo. Instead, they existed in the form of natural stasis, awaiting appropriate hatching conditions. Fetal organism, there's a higher there is a high genetic match between these organisms and the leviathan in the vicinity. They appear to be stable and healthy. It is likely that the ideal hatching condition for the eggs may vary considerably from the ideal surviving conditions for the parent. Oh, there's more. No. Incubator. Hatching enzymes. The emperor specimen are hatched to some form of incubator. Its normal life cycle, it seems like in a normal life cycle, it seems that like these emperors would have buried their eggs in shallower waters where different organic materials in the soil would have triggered a hatching response. The incubator suggests the aliens had resorted to developing an artificial hatching enzyme which would simulate the egg's natural hatching environment, but were unable to discover the formula. With extensive information on the sea emperor themselves, it may still be possible to fabricate an artificial hatching enzyme using using indigenous ingredients. However, the only surviving source of that information may be still synthesis. Because you did this first, and then new message.
With the passage you have opened, my young can leave this place.
I don't want to.
First, they must feel the time is right and break free of their shells. This is what the others could not force from me. To you, I give the secret willingly.
Hatching enzyme, yo. So I stalk sea crown, fungal sampling, ghost feed, bullbush. Aren't you that? No, your brain core. Oh, bullbush. Sea Emperor's life cycle. Available biological data has been used to synthesize the effects of alien bacterium on the Sea Emperor's natural life cycle. This creature likely lived and moved in small herds around the planet's ocean trenches, coming to the surface to feed off their huge volumes of microorganisms in the shallower waters. Family size would be strictly limited by available food supply. Offspring would likely split off at a young age to form their own herd somewhere else. Given the sparse population, mating and egg laying was likely infrequent, perhaps a once-in-a-lifetime event. The species likely had a preferred environment for egg laying. In fact, successful hatching may depend on such conditions. Given to the rarity of this event, it is impossible to calculate those conditions precisely. There is no evidence to support the assumption to all that There is no evidence to support the assumption that all members of the species were immune from the alien bacterium. Even if this is so, there is evidence that the introduction of the bacterium decimated life on the planet, and this would have a catastrophic event on the Emperor's food supply and survival rate. The symbiotic relationship between this specimen and other life forms likely developed as a direct result of the bacterial infection. Those life forms which learned to keep the Emperor alive survived with its help. This may explain the vast tracts of lifeless ocean through in a rough perimeter around the Emperor's location. Oh, right, beacon. Alright, so hatching design. You think they're all you think all would be here? Okay, let's look at it again. Sea crown. I think I've seen them. Ghost stock, I know I've seen it. Ooh, you look like a yes, sea crown. Sea crown. Oh. Oh, I lost river. Yeah, there's some quartz. Now I'm gonna leave the suit back here. Like right here. Let me get that peeking out. Looks like ice stock. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to look behind me. Oh. Stop. Hatching enzyme. That is amazing. But what sucks? Yeah. Makes sense. Two waters, yes. I shall take that and no, bring it ahead. We're gonna head back over there. See you guys. Hatching enzyme. Hatching enzyme. Oh, they're so cute. Cute sounds. Oh. Oh. That'll make a great shot.
My young are swimming for the shallows. I thank you. Their freedom is my end.
Not a run, dude.
What will it be like, I wonder, to go to sleep and
Oh.
never wake up? Perhaps next we meet, I will be an ocean current, carrying seas to a new land. Or a creature so small,
So
it sees
cute.
the gaps between the grains of sand. Farewell, friend.
You guys are huge. But no, you're dying. Anyway. Sea Emperor juvenile. A juvenile emperor specimen is producing a highly potent form of enzyme 42, which should be capable of fully curing individuals of the alien bacterium. This specimen hatches relatively fully formed are independent, perhaps reflecting the fact that they must fend for themselves when they are first born away from their parents. This specimen is healthy and exhibiting positive attitude for life. To me. It's so sad that she's dying. Optimal health, we just got cured. No. Wait, let's see where they go. I don't have a lot of oxygen, but no. So be it. Oh, that was a Reaper. But we're near the gun. And there's a Worker. Oh, you guys are so cute. Everything turned off. I think I'd die if I jump.
Yeah.
Since when was there a whale? Wait,
Self-scan complete.
normal.
Vital signs normal. No remaining sign of bacterial infection.
Do you think I could get infected again? Ah, the gun's facing down. That's amazing. Well, we'll leave it off in this part. I thank you guys for watching it. Until next time.